Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, 25 News Now was on the ground in Kerrville, what we saw following the fatal floods. And more parts of the country are gearing up as severe weather continues to strike. Plus a vote overnight in the Senate and the major cuts they're sending to the House.
And for us, Invest 93L will be making landfall in Louisiana later today, bringing us maybe some tropical shower chances this weekend before the heat. Woo, it's going to be turning back on. We'll have all that in the weather coming up.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads. Hope you're enjoying your week so far. It's Thursday. We're just a day away from Parker's favorite day of the week.
Today is what I like to call Friday Eve, because tomorrow is Friday. If y'all didn't know, and coming away this weekend, well, it's going to be another bit of a hot and humid one out there.
Sunblock.
Yep, sunblock. Put that on. And actually, if you're tuning in with us this morning, go ahead and put on that sunblock, because we're looking for another pretty sunny day. We'll look at all of that later, because starting out the day, looking live in Victoria, if you're tuning in with us, it's real warm and humid out there. Just like I said, it's summertime. Y'all get used to this. 73 is our air temperature right now. Dew point's at that whopping 72, bringing the humidity to 96%, which is technically enough to see a little bit of light patchy fog around the crossroads. You did kind of see a little bit of that on the camera, but if we look at the visibility map, you can see it's a little bit thicker being reported down around B County right now. Also a little bit going up towards the Houston area and also along I-10 as well. So if you're going to be traveling along any of those roads, make sure that y'all are staying safe this morning. Bless you, Carolina. And also maybe take an allergy bill, because she's been absolutely dying this morning. Y'all haven't noticed. But for us, it's going to be sunny. Grab those sunglasses as well, because you can see the fog will clear up at around 8 a.m. when it usually does, down to some clear sunny skies. And here's that Invest that's going to be bringing all sorts of heavy rain to Louisiana. We'll look at that later, because headed out the door, like I said, another hot and sunny, humid day coming our way. We'll have all those details coming up next.
In Kerrville, organizations from all across the country came together not only to help residents impacted by the floods, but also first responders. A 25 News Now crew was on the ground for several hours Wednesday. They saw homes completely wiped away, cars pushed blocks from where they once sat, and neighborhoods left unrecognizable. And a park vigil, crosses mark the memory of the lives lost during the flood. There are no longer any residents in this part of town. Only search crews and emergency teams remain, looking for those who are still missing and working to clean up the devastation left behind. Fernando Acosta Jr. is due back in court in 2 weeks for a pretrial hearing ahead of his murder trial set for September. Acosta is accused of killing Amanda Johnson, a single mother of two whose body was found in a burned-out SUV in Matagorda County back in 2021. The case has been delayed several times, but after more than 4 years, a jury is now expected to hear the case starting September 8th. Victoria County investigators plan to file another murder charge against 37-year-old Jacob Kelly, this time in connection to the death of Mitchell Hubbard. Kelly was arrested July 10th and already faces a long list of charges, including murder and aggravated assault in a separate shooting that killed Jeffrey Delaney and injured another person. Hubbard was found shot to death the next morning. An autopsy shows he died from a gunshot wound to the head. Now to the nation's severe weather, the latest fatality in the Northeast, where another stormy day is ahead. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
Overnight, dangerous weather across the country. Storms hitting the already waterlogged Northeast ahead of dangerous heat today. In New Jersey, one man is dead and more than a dozen others injured, including children, after they were struck by lightning at an archery range.
It was insanely loud, and the earth exploded, and there was dirt flying everywhere.
Witnesses say they were shocked because it wasn't raining at the time. It's the second death in the state from lightning this week. On Monday, 28-year-old Simon Mariani died after getting struck on a golf course days earlier. In New Orleans, residents are filling sandbags as the Gulf Coast braces for a tropical disturbance that could bring up to 10 inches of rain.
We urge all residents to be on guard for potential heavy rainfall and possibly a flash flooding. The city stands ready, again with boots on the ground, to face this weather system.
The city not taking any chances as it approaches the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, one of the worst natural disasters in U.S. history. Across the Midwest, multiple reported tornadoes touching down, this one tearing through Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Extreme heat fueling severe storms throughout the region. And in the Texas Hill Country, search efforts continue as the death toll from July 4th's devastating flooding reaches 134.
Heaven only knows what's gonna happen tonight. I'm okay.
Country singer Pat Green hosted a live stream concert to benefit flood victims, bringing in $1 million for relief efforts. Green lost his brother, his brother's wife, and 2 of their children in the floods.
The one thing I know about Texas is Texas stands up for Texas. I'm trying to turn the sorrow into some bright light.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
A rescissions package slicing $9 billion in funding for public broadcasting and foreign aid is heading to the House. That's after Republican senators passed it in the early morning hours, 51 to 48. They're trying to meet a deadline tomorrow. Senators Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski are the only members of the GOP in the chamber who did not support it. The House is coming off a late night of its own focused on cryptocurrency legislation. GOP holdouts are why a procedural hurdle last night set a new record for the longest House vote in modern history. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We want to know, do you support cutting $9 billion in funding for public broadcasting and foreign aid? All right, let's take a look. This kind of held steady all morning, too. 62% of you say yes, and 38% of you say no. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. And here are some of the top headlines in the Crow Record. A convoy takes aid from DeWitt County to the Hill Country after the deadly flooding there. And junior firefighters pick up the torch at the Nordheim Volunteer Fire Department. To read these stories and more, visit DeWittCountyToday.com. And remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It is 6:37 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A new study has a surprisingly simple secret that'll get you stepping stronger and feeling younger.
I'm ABC's Perry Russell in Washington. President Trump slamming his own supporters who want answers on the Jeffrey Epstein case, calling them stupid. That story coming up.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, like you heard me say earlier, it's going to be another kind of sunny and hot day all across Texas. So coming up next, I'll tell you just how hot I think it'll be near you.
Behind closed doors, too many voices go unheard. In Breaking the Silence, domestic violence in the Crossroads.
People who are going through this know that they are not alone and that they can get the help they need and the help that they deserve, that they don't need to be scared. There is people that care about them.
Amaya Norman brings their stories to light and shows how our community is stepping up to help. A 25 News Now Extra you can't afford to miss.
Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Thursday, Friday Eve. Get ready for the weekend, y'all, but maybe kind of take that with a grain of salt and being excited and all, because it's going to be a little bit hot, so please stay safe. We'll look at that here in a second. Because starting out with your visibility map, ooh, look, it just updated on me. We are still tracking a little bit of light fog around the Crossroads this morning, becoming a little bit thicker and more dense around the Bede County area. You can see a half mile being reported right about there, and also a little bit of it along I-10 as well. So if y'all be traveling on those roads, please be careful. Use those low beam headlights, and your windshield wiper is your best friend in this scenario to clear up the fog on your windshield. But if there is any fog out there, and if you see any, it'll clear up like it usually does around 8 a.m. down to some mostly sunny skies. And the mostly sunny skies just like this are going to stay with us the entire day today. Not going to be as sunny as it was yesterday or on Tuesday as well. Both days were really sunny. Today we're going to be looking mostly sunny. This is not mostly cloudy. This is actually going to be upper level cirrus clouds bringing us lots more sunshine. Like I said, I'm thinking a high of about 96 here in Victoria this afternoon, which is about 1 degree above our average this time of year. But if that's not hot enough for y'all, like I said, high pressure is going to be building over us going all the way into next week. We're going to see these heat indices reaching up to about 110, maybe above that. But like I said, we'll probably see that the heat's going to get real next week, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know, because the high pressure is going to be huge, spanning over the entire southern United States, putting us in the Crossroads back in the upper 90s. Some might even be in the low 100s after the tropical activity is all said and done, and that's coming up next.
This past weekend out there in Corpus Christi, two-star Victoria West volleyball players, and Avery Griffin and Isabella Bizel, competed out there. That was in Ellis Beach. It was in the Next Star Beach tournament, and these team actually won gold there for the first time. And they're trying to improve their skills in the sand volleyball court to take it out there into the indoor play, because they're going into their senior seasons and they want to do well going into college out there in 2026. So Griffin and Bizel mentioned how they both started playing sand volleyball and what are some of the keys that can help translate over for this season.
And Bella had the bright idea whenever we heard St. Joe had a sand tournament to come over here and just give it a shot and see if we liked it. And whenever we played and we ended up winning, we found that we really loved it. And so we looked into a bunch of different clubs, and then that's how we landed on going to Ellis Beach and Corpus.
Volleyball is a very communication. It's all about communicating, and I definitely think me and Avery could take that to West, to high school. Without communicating in sand volleyball, it would be crazy all over the place, wouldn't be able to get a ball up.
Now, both Griffin and Bizel believe this sand volleyball season that they're having right now can help lead over to the fall when they start up two-a-days. They'll begin there August 5th, and they'll start up the season with the first scrimmages on August 11th. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
There is growing pressure on the Trump administration to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. Trump's own supporters demanding answers. ABC's Perry Russom is in Washington.
With pressure building on the Trump administration to release the Jeffrey Epstein files,
they're stupid people.
President Trump lashing out at members of his own party.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net.
But it was Trump and some of his closest allies who flamed conspiracy theories on Epstein and a client list. Trump's FBI Director Kash Patel on a podcast in 2023.
What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list?
Trump's Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino last year.
I don't trust any story they tell me about Jeffrey Epstein. There is a reason this client list is hidden.
Attorney General Pam Bondi on Fox News in February.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Last week, a memo from the DOJ and FBI, agencies led by Patel and Bondi, concluded a client list never existed.
Do you still have confidence in that team, sir? Total.
One Democratic congressman now accusing Trump of a cover-up. Congressman Mark Vesey telling Vanity Fair it seems like he's trying to cover up for something or somebody. Conservatives from the old guard to young influencers applying pressure. Former Vice President Mike Pence on CBS.
I know of no reason why this administration, once the victims' names are protected, should not release all the files on Jeffrey Epstein.
And one of the most influential voices in the MAGA movement, Charlie Kirk.
It's been 10 days since you've leaked this thing on the holiday weekend, and you still have not done a straight-to-camera, straight-to-the-sticks press conference. Here's why we reached the conclusion that we did.
Trump was asked about the possibility of appointing a special counsel to investigate the Epstein case. Trump saying, "I have nothing to do with it." Perry Russom, ABC News, Washington.
Are you an older adult looking to stay active and independent? A new study finds that increasing the number of steps you take per minute can help reduce frailty. Researchers say adding just 14 steps per minute led to improved mobility and endurance in frail older adults. To safely increase your walking cadence, experts recommend walking for 30 minutes at your normal pace, then gradually adding more steps. Celebrate Christmas in July at the annual Nativity exhibit in Port Lavaca. The free event showcases over 1,000 nativity scenes from around the world. It runs from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. July 25th through the 27th at the Red Barn on Highway 35. It's even been featured on the Texas bucket list. And here are some of the top headlines in the Port Lavaca wave. Local teachers aid in flood relief in the Hill Country, and the Port Lavaca City Council discusses slot machines in the city. To read these stories and more, go to portlavacawave.com. The time is now 6:46 on our Thursday morning. Still to come on Sunrise. Soon you may not have to worry about getting mini versions of your favorite toiletries. Time Time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy first birthday to Arthur. Love you so much. I'm so blessed to be your Nana. Enjoy your weekend and let's have some fun.
Oh, look at this. We picture
Look at that
happy
hat.
birthday. And also happy birthday to Sandy. Happy 13th birthday, baby. You are officially a teen. We love you.
Happy birthday to Georgette. Happy birthday to our sister Georgette. Have a wonderful day. Love from mom, dad, sisters, brothers, and your daughter Marissa and your grandson Andres.
Happy birthday, Georgette. And also happy birthday to Leah. Want to wish you a happy birthday, Mom. Have a beautiful day.
And happy birthday to country star Luke Bryan, who's turning 49 today.
Happy birthday, Luke Bryan. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com, click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, the time is now 6:47 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday to my friend Carol. Hope you have a wonderful day with your beautiful family.
Happy birthday, Carol.
And happy birthday to you if you're celebrating one today.
That's right. Happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all might be, or some of y'all might be still a little bit worried what's going on in the tropics, because we do still have a tropical system, a little disturbance messing around in our Gulf waters. Right now, we're still tracking Invest 93L, which is sustained winds, last reported at 30 miles an hour, pressures down to about 1,000 millibars. But the system does still have a very lower than yesterday. Yesterday it was 40%, but today it's a 30% chance of formation into a tropical depression. Tropical storm status is no longer likely with this system because it's developing so close to land, and there's also a little bit of wind shear above the heads as well. Looking at the spaghetti models, though, it's just the same as yesterday. It's going to continue tracking all the way through, likely around the New Orleans area, and all the way through the Baton Rouge area, where they are going to be seeing a dumping in terms of rainfall. And you can see it right here. This is the next 36 hours radar loop. You can see all the way into Friday, early morning, about 1 a.m. All sorts of heavy rain will be ongoing in southern Louisiana. But here in the Crossroads, what's that? Nothing really at all. We might have a 10 to 20% chance to see a few spotty showers, and also that flooding risk. We had 5% risk marginal. That's also been shifted eastward. So we don't have anything to worry about in our area, but that's not to say the same in Louisiana. They could see up to a foot or more possible of rain, which is exactly why they have an excessive rainfall outlook for today and tomorrow, kind of dwindling down as we go into the weekend time. But also as we go into the weekend time, this low system, like I said, will make landfall, and then high pressure is going to start building over the east coast, slide this direction, and that's going to heat us up quite a bit. We'll be back in the upper 90s, maybe low 100s. And then something interesting, that high pressure system will move a little bit more northward, and we might have a repeat scenario of this tropical system next week. We'll look at all that and more, though, later on Sunrise.
This morning, the Homeland Security Secretary is hinting at another big change to TSA screening. ABC's Andrea Fuji has the details.
This morning, more changes could be coming to airport security screening. The TSA is weighing changes to the size of liquid containers passengers are allowed to carry on.
I will tell you, the liquids, I'm questioning, so that may be the next big announcement, is what size your liquids need to be. We're looking at, our scanners.
Currently, liquids, aerosols, and gels must be in containers no larger than 3.4 ounces. The rules date back to 2006 and a plot to blow up U.S.-bound planes with liquid explosives. The new possible change comes a week after the TSA announced travelers will be allowed to keep their shoes on while passing through TSA screening.
TSA is working on the technology that we have available to us if we deploy it correctly.
So it's just simply
that you can walk in. If you've got a carry-on bag, you should be able just to walk through their screeners, their scanners, and go right to your flight.
Meanwhile, after air traffic control staffing issues and outages at busy airports like Newark outside New York City last spring, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy revealing for the first time how much it will cost to overhaul the nation's outdated air traffic control system. $31.5 billion, about $10 billion more than he estimated last month. He told Congress that at the current pace, it would take 300 years to complete the upgrade.
We can't wait 300 years. We can't wait, 13 years. We need to be doing this now.
Even with billions from President Trump's big, beautiful bill, Duffy is about $19 billion short of what he needs for the overhaul. He said he wants to have an additional conversation about funding because, quote, time is of the essence. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A recent Texas appeals court ruling could change what we know about a tragic school shooting. A Texas appeals court ruled Uvalde County and the Uvalde CISD must release public records about the 2022 Robb Elementary shooting. The ruling upheld a 2024 judgment that they violated the Texas Public Information Act by withholding key documents. Authorities still face unanswered questions, including why the shooter was in a classroom over an hour while officers waited outside. The U.S. is set to destroy nearly 500 metric tons of emergency food, high-energy biscuits meant for starving people overseas. The supplies have been in a Dubai warehouse for months and will expire this month. Incineration will cost the government about $100,000. A former U.S. aid official says 2 rations a day can keep a person alive. The State Department confirms the food will be destroyed after failed efforts to use it. Victoria police are investigating an auto pedestrian crash Tuesday night on East North Street. Fernando Lamas Jr., who is 29 years old, was walking on the shoulder when he was hit by a car. He was taken to a local hospital and then airlifted for advanced treatment. The driver, 77-year-old Esperanza Villarreal, stayed at the scene and spoke with officers. Investigators say she didn't see Lamas before the crash. No citations have been issued. How a small East Texas town turned a devastating tornado into funding for sirens. Crockett turned its own tragedy into preparedness. Read the story by the Texas Tribune on crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a final look at our forecast with Parker. Parker, that sunrise over Port Lavaca looking beautiful.
As always, isn't it, Carolina? Look how pretty it is this morning. We got all kinds of colors in the sky again. Look at all the pink. We got some blue. And also, if you look really closely, way out in the background, you see these really tall clouds. These are upper level cirrus clouds. This is actually that cirrus deck of clouds that I was talking about. That's coming off of the tropical invest and coming our way for today. Like I said, it's going to be mostly sunny, I'm thinking, not mostly cloudy. 76 for the temperature right now in Port Lavaca, dew point 74, bringing us a humidity of 94%. With that humidity, make sure to be careful if you see any kind of light fog on the road this morning. That'll burn off at about 8 a.m. Down to mostly sunny sky for the entire day. Like I said, just some cirrus clouds. High of 95 in Port Lavaca, a bit warmer Victoria, 96 today. And about the same all of that in Cuero, maybe a little bit warmer. Y'all might hit 97 today, so please stay cool and hydrated. Low 90s already at noontime. But if that's not hot enough, like I said, next week we're going to see high pressure build overhead, bringing us back into the upper 90s. And also, like I said, next week we may see a near repeat scenario of another tropical system moving into the Gulf. Probably not going to turn into anything, but it will possibly bring us more rain chances for next weekend. Before that, like I said, it's going to be hot, 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 so stay cool.
I'm going to be using that hot, that red face emoji with the
there
sweat.
There you go. That's right.
All right, well, thank y'all for being with us. Join Shauna McClovey and Max tonight for 25 News at 5, 6, and 10. Have a great day.